Uh-oh. What did I do? There we go. Hello, and welcome back to the GTD Podcast. I'm the
He's the Norax and speaks for the podcast. Yes.
Damn you.
I got to it first.
Well, at least there's no awkward silence this time. Yes.
There, I made it happen.
Welcome back. We're here again. What is going on with this intro?
And
Fine.
yeah, I actually have something to talk about today.
Oh, well, that's certainly different than it is usually. Well, technically, we always have something to talk about. Whether it's relevant or not is dependent on your view of relevancy.
Okay. I actually have something to talk about that is in the schedule that you have graciously set out for us.
Yes, the graciously set out schedule that we definitely follow to a T every time.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Of course we do. Why wouldn't we? We're great at this podcasting thing.
Yes. So
weekly's like every 2 weeks, sometimes a month. That's what weekly means, right? A very random schedule. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, we've been consistent these past 4 or 5 weeks now, I think.
I mean, yeah.
So that's something. But yes,
true.
We haven't even introduced ourselves. We just started rambling from the beginning. So off to a good start there. But
yes, we did.
Yes, I'm the Rimworld Speaking Podcast, all of that good stuff. I'm here as usual with Matthew and Devon. And once again, no Max, but that's just because his work schedule is, well, a schedule that has work in it, as you might guess.
He actually does stuff.
Yes. I mean, I technically do stuff too, but not enough to warrant, a schedule.
Does he work on Saturday?
I don't know. I don't know his exact work schedule, so
okay.
He said he'll probably be here next week, though. That's something. He said he had a week off, so probably be here next week. And then you can have a fun time looking at Max's face. Yes, we have this is terrible. This is the worst thing I've ever done. But yes, we have several things going for the show. We'll be taking a look at, or not taking a look at, yes, we'll be taking a look at the things we've done this week. Instead of talking about them, we'll be taking a look at them. Because, that's what you do. Yes, we'll be talking about what we've been done this week. Then we'll be talking about what comes after trailers. This is the worst. No, not the... I'd really enjoy if my mouth just worked. That'd be great if it just did that. But yes, we'll be talking about what we've been doing this week. Then we'll be taking a look at not a trailer. We'll be talking about a trailer, specifically a gameplay overview type thing for Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. We'll be talking about that. Then moving on to host topics. As per usual, maybe or maybe we won't have one. Maybe we will this week. Who knows? Then swiftly moving on to whatever news we have, specifically news regarding a new Dragon Ball asymmetrical multiplayer game and another platform fighter released by Warner Brothers. So I have some things to say about that, but we'll get into that when we do. Then after, we'll be moving on to shameless self-promotion and the end of the show. So without further ado, let's just jump into it after that immense amount of rambling that was interrupting the dumb flow we have to this podcast. So, Matthew, what have you been doing this week?
What have I been doing this week? That is a good question. Let's see. Well, I played D&D. One of my players knocked a wizard that they had just beaten into a pool of healing water.
Yeah. He said he was on our
Um,
side.
I mean, yeah. He did surrender, you're right.
I mean, it's not like we could have very easily killed him. We all not died.
Let's see what else.
And that's it.
Well, I almost I almost killed 2 of the characters in that game too. But my dice won't let me actually kill characters, so you know.
Yeah, you have the opposite problem of me, where my dice, for some reason, whenever my dice attack the players, it's usually they die if I get a hit, but I never hit.
Yeah, for me, it's I always hit and they almost die, but then they don't.
Yeah, whenever I DM, my dice are like, yeah, we'll let you hit these people with your boss like once every couple rounds. And then when you finally do hit, you somehow almost kill them. Or do kill them. I've killed several characters on multiple occasions just from dumb, stupid luck. And the players being dumb. That has that has different implications. I mean,
and my dice say
there was the time I killed.
You want what?
Killed like half the party because they decided to attack a giant robot that was just looking at their horses.
When did this happen?
It was in that futuristic Western campaign thing. Remember the one that stopped because I was only DMing it for you and Laura, and we stopped because COVID happened?
Oh, that thing. Wait, we attacked a robot at that?
Yeah, remember when your buffalo bison things ran off? You tracked them down and a giant robot was just looking at them?
Right,
And
we attacked that.
Fucking attacked it. And it straight up killed one of you and then almost killed a couple others.
I forgot that my character died.
Yeah, he got trampled to death. I guess
he wasn't a very memorable character.
Anyways, you know something I just realized? I've killed a lot of Matthew's characters. Thinking about
that is fine.
I killed your weird vampire that you put a bunch of work into and created an entirely different like continent.
Yeah, I don't know why I did that.
I killed him first session from
I'm fine with that sort of
being
thing.
attacked by one of my bosses that you were supposed to run away from. And then he just crushed your, and then I was like, well, he's landing on top of you, so he could totally just like crush your head. And then I was like, I don't want to do that though, because it would kill your character. And then you're like, no, go for it. It's like, okay, he crushes your skull because you were.
Yeah, because I'm like, no, if the character would do that, do it. Yeah. I fully believe in the do what the character should do, including for the enemies.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have a problem of being too smart for the enemies usually.
What do you mean?
Playing some goblins, and I'm like, I totally know what's going on. They have an intelligence of like 6, but they know exactly what to do. Anyways, yes, that's a talk for.
Oh, and I played a very little bit of Minecraft, not much at all.
Yes, that's what we're doing. We're talking about what you've done this week.
What else did I do?
It's probably about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Moving on then. Devin, what have you been doing this week?
Well, a few days ago, I reset my entire computer. I backed up the important stuff and then I reset everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Evan, can I say why you did that? Am I allowed?
Because it was resetting and stuff.
But can I say, from what we can tell, why you was thinking things were breaking?
No, it's just weird stuff's going on.
Well,
there's more weird
updated
stuff
Safari
than you
yet?
are. There's more weird stuff going on than you are aware of.
Okay.
And yes, I do have another software update, but it's not for the wait. But as far as I'm aware, it is not for the entire Mac.
I see.
As far as you're aware, got it. Uh-oh. Okay.
I'm fine.
Yeah. So you reset your computer.
And I had to re-download some stuff, and I can't figure out which email connects to my Discord. So I have a new Discord, which is actually my old Discord, which is connected to my main email. It's not confusing.
Okay.
No, not confusing at all. Why would you say that?
No idea what's going on with that. And then I have when I reopened my computer, I was like, you know what I could do? I could get Valheim, and it turns out you can't get Valheim on a Mac, but I can get some other games. So I looked up a bunch of different games, and I was scrolling through games, and I decided to download Rimworld.
All right.
Because Rimworld looks like it'd be a fun game, and Rimworld is not the game I thought I was wanting, but it is a lot of fun.
See.
And it is kind of like it is very reminiscent of that first day in Minecraft, where I should kind of know what I'm doing, but everything is crazy.
I mean, I know Minecraft wasn't your first video game ever, but it might as well have been, considering every other game you played was like phone games, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. No, like Tetris,
phone games, and I guess a few Game Boy Advance games sprinkled in there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a lot of Game Boy Advance games. We got to play Earthworm Jim, where you're a little worm with a gun as a secret agent or something. I don't remember that game very well. That was a really old game.
I mean, yeah, that was a re-release because it originally came out on the.
I also got to download Planescape Torment.
Oh, really?
Which I believe you've said you've played before, right?
I have it. I have the original version and the updated version, because both of them came, like, when you bought it, you got both of them.
Okay.
But I haven't. I know a lot about Planescape Torment, but I haven't taken the dive into it yet, mostly because, well, computer issues for one, and also because just didn't have the time.
Okay.
But
well,
it is
I'm
a
doing
game
that.
I very much wanted to play.
I'm doing that. I started it. It's really cool. I think Matthew would really enjoy playing it at some point, maybe trying it.
How many?
Yeah,
how
Planescape Torment.
big is it?
Like,
Tiny.
Planescape Torment is heralded as like one of the best like narrative video game experiences like out there. Gameplay is a little janky, but you know,
2 gigabytes. Whoa.
it's pretty old.
Specifically because it's such a story-focused game, I thought Matthew would think it was interesting.
I mean,
It'd
yeah,
Also,
take, like, a whole day to download it.
there's a couple other things. One is that YouTube has officially removed the dislike button from all YouTube videos.
yeah, I am aware of that. I don't think.
No, they're going to.
No, they did. They have.
It's not on.
No, they
mine.
have. You can, if you go onto the YouTube website, you can go to any video and just see the dislikes are gone.
It might be a YouTube Red exclusive
What?
thing where if you have YouTube Red, you can still see the dislikes.
Oh,
True. Okay, so
all right.
Something
Let
I
me
find
find
funny.
this out.
something I find funny is that on the mobile version of YouTube, the dislikes are still there. So this is only for the website of YouTube currently. They'll probably get around to the YouTube mobile version at some point, but I find it funny that the dislikes are still there on the mobile version.
No, the dislikes are still there on mine all the way.
Wow. Okay.
What?
None of mine.
No, like your thing probably hasn't updated yet or something.
Now,
I just used
Listen,
the Chrome.
if there's one thing
thing.
YouTube is good at, it's not updating their site properly.
they might have just changed it so that new uploads, don't show dislikes by automatic. So in order to show your dislikes, you have to opt into it.
That wouldn't make sense, considering the reason they're doing this is because they don't want large businesses to be grounded into the ground. You know, the saying
that's the
everybody
point.
uses.
That's the point. When someone posts a video, unless they intentionally opt out, this is all hypothetical. I don't actually. I could easily look into this, but I'm not going to.
I mean,
it
I
looks as
haven't.
though-
I'm not entirely like this. This
I know there's
was
an option.
known like over a week ago, and I've uploaded a video within that time frame, and it never gave me an option to turn the thing on or off. So
You have to actually dig through it. If you dig through the advanced stuff,
well,
and you
I'm
look-
aware there already is a way to turn likes and dislikes off.
Oh yeah.
And if you find a video where likes and dislikes are off and the comments are off, that's probably a bad video. What they're displaying in that video is probably not very good for your health.
You think?
Yeah.
It's like no input whatsoever. We
So-
shan't hear you.
I got those 2 games, and then Bed Wars decided to open up a game mode that I really like, so I played a bunch of Bed Wars, and I've been
Mhm.
working 40 hours a week, which is not. I mean, it actually is a lot of fun, but it's not. There's a lot of time that I don't have now.
What?
Not good for my time.
Job drains your time? Wow.
Yeah,
That's
but
ridiculous.
I've so far made $1,000.
Really?
So, yeah.
Okay. Well, you have money and I don't, so I guess you
I
would.
mean, no, Aaron, the math is really easy though. If you work for 3 weeks for $10 an hour, and you work $40 a week, 40 hours a week, then you'll make $1,200 at the end of 3 weeks, if my
Well,
math is
yeah.
correct.
Basic math. I mean,
I
they're
get paid more than $10 an hour.
well, yeah, that's probably because you're not on minimum wage, rather. Or are
No.
you? Wait, are you minimum wage? Or is
No,
it
not even close.
Okay.
Not even close. This is the stuff that I'm doing. The job itself is pretty nice, but it's definitely not a minimum wage position.
Yeah,
I'm a valuable employee.
it's probably more dangerous, slightly, anyways.
Okay, it's mildly dangerous. I'm carrying around heavy objects and flipping them around and placing them and stuff.
Yeah, you know that.
Operating your forklifts, which are carrying half-ton objects and racing them above my head.
Yeah, dangerous. You know.
Yeah, it's fun. Anyway, that's kind of what I've been doing. That's it.
All right.
I
So
download these games. I mean, I'll be able to go more in depth on them once I actually know what I'm doing in Rimworld. Because so far, I've just made my colony starve, made my colony get really sick, made a colonist die, been unable to bury anyone, caused one of my people to perform surgery on someone while they were in bed in the bedroom, which made blood just go everywhere. So there's blood
see.
everywhere. It's a mess.
So what you're currently operating is 16th century London, right? That's what you're currently operating.
Sure. If it was out in the middle of the wilderness with no infrastructure.
So London. No. Obviously, I'm joking. They had infrastructure. It just burnt to the ground every week.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, so that's what you've been up to?
Mhm.
All right. Moving on to me. As per usual, as I've said, I don't have a lot of time just because kittens and a bunch of other stuff takes up like I've explained this so many times, but like it really is hard to do stuff because I have to watch the kittens. Otherwise, they'll just probably get into something that's really bad for them. So like I have to watch them and make sure they don't get anything too like bad. I just don't have like I have to like do, it's like I have a couple options. Either I lock them up somewhere in my vicinity and just play video games, or I watch them in a different part of my house and I don't have access to anything else except for like a computer and my phone probably. but that doesn't, it's just there's not a lot of time to play video games currently.
Better, I got an even better solution. Make a fence around your entire yard, your backyard,
I
and then
mean,
let them loose in it.
there is a fence surrounding the backyard. Technically, they can probably
Make a fence that is kitten proof.
So you want me to create a wooden box?
Yes, outside.
Mhm.
And put a roof on it because they can climb up really high.
Yeah, I'm aware of that fact.
Roof your entire backyard.
Roof the backyard.
Cut down a couple of trees. There's some trees in your area. You can cut them down, make them into planks, craft those planks into slabs, place the slabs over your yard. Shouldn't take more than a couple of minutes.
Yeah, that's
A
that's
few
definitely
seconds.
how that works. Because real life is definitely Minecraft.
I mean, be careful
no.
when you're cutting down the trees because they don't float anymore. I don't know. They must have patched that. So if you want to cut down a tree, you have to start at the top and then cut down, or you have to start at the bottom, but then you have to get out of the way because they like to fall.
Right.
I don't know why that is. Also, the
Right.
leaves don't decay.
Yeah.
And when you plant them, when you plant the saplings, nothing happens. They just fall over. So dumb. Why is
Yeah,
life so unrealistic?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I have
Maybe life's just a simulation. Maybe that's why it's so unrealistic.
yes, life is a simulation and Minecraft is the true.
I told you about this. There was actually a time where I played Minecraft so much that in real life, I was having a hard time understanding how real life humans' inventories worked. And I was like, so if you use a shovel to dig dirt faster, because it makes the dirt dig faster when you hit it with the shovel.
Mm-hmm.
And like all of this was making perfect sense in my mind. And if I examined it for even a second, I was like, how is that in my brain? That doesn't make any sense, Devin. What are you thinking?
Well,
Like taking a block of dirt, you dig out a block of dirt, you take the block of dirt, carry it somewhere else, place it.
yeah, the 1 meter block.
Yeah, that's how dirt works. You can totally carry dirt in 1 meter by 1 meter blocks that are definitely not going to be like 500 pounds.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know what to say to that. But
Yeah.
okay. So what I've been doing this week, well, other than just watching cats and doing nothing but that, and other stuff, thinking, that thing I like to do.
Yeah.
I have played Smash Brothers. That it's just like the only game I can just play and not have to worry about the cats because I can just jump into it, play a couple matches, and then get out of it. And I've been playing that. I don't have a lot
good
to
at it.
I mean, relatively, I'd like to say. I feel like the only reason I fail sometimes is because I can't exactly dissect my mentality, but for some reason, after I play it long enough, I just start being bad at the game. I don't know why. Like, if I play it in long enough sessions, I just start being bad at it. And I don't know if that's just I don't know why. I just stop being good and start being bad. And I don't know why. The one thing I will say is that I feel like the only reason outside of just me being bad after a while for some reason is input lag, obviously, because Nintendo servers aren't the best. And if you're playing online, there's input lag, which is, after you press a button, there's a delay between when you press a button and an action happens. So it can mess up some of your commands if you're trying to do something, which is annoying. And then obviously there's just, people that you fight against being absolutely the worst human beings in existence. Yeah. Maybe that's a little harsh. I don't know. Maybe
Hello?
that's a little harsh.
Hello?
Yes, hello, I'm back again. Thank you for being a terrible system we're using. I love you so much. Anyways, what was I saying? What happened?
No,
No.
what happened there?
Anyways, yes, the people you play against in Smash are probably the worst people in existence, but that may or may not be an exaggeration. You know. I think I've talked about this before. It's just really annoying to go against people that spam the same move over and over again because it's just effective. And it's like, I mean, I can get around it, but it's really hard, especially because the character you play as heavily determines your effectiveness against different characters. So it's like, if I'm a little Mac going against a Pyra and Mithra, there's very little I can do against their, side Bs that just come out almost instantaneously and have such insane range, it's actually insulting.
Wow.
Anyways, I'm not going to get into that too much, other than I probably shouldn't play Smash Brothers because it makes me exhaustingly angry just to play against other human beings. Yeah, I've been playing that. I've been thinking about D&D. Such a non sequitur. It hurts my brain. But yeah, it's whatever.
You've been thinking about D&D. It makes sense. You got lots of time on your hands. D&D is something you like.
Yeah. No, I haven't been working on anything though. That's the main thing. I haven't been working on anything. That's
You should write a story.
I mean, yeah, I'm trying, sorta.
Okay.
Anyways, but yeah, that's basically what I'm gonna do this week. I'm not gonna, stall on this topic forever just because what I'm saying is unimaginably boring. Probably, anyways. But yes, that's what I've roughly been doing this week. Wish I could do more. It's just have to wait for the cats to get bigger kind of situation. Anyways, let's move on to trailers, shall we? That's fine with hold on a moment. Well, as you saw by that, cats were moving about, if I had to give a second. Anyways, sorry about that. But yes, moving on to trailers. So, like I said before, we only have one trailer we're going to be looking at, specifically a overview of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl.
And I did watch this.
Yes, I heard. I
tried to look at some of it, but then the voice started annoying me.
You could have put it on mute, Anyways.
I've already looked at the other trailers for it.
Well, this is just like an overview of like the whole system's going on. So
yeah,
first of all, I guess where do I start with this? I guess I'll start by saying that everything that I saw in the trailer, to my knowledge and memory, is basically everything that was in the original games, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. No, I feel like I'm definitely wrong about at least one aspect of that, but most of it was in the original game, like the underground contests stuff. I don't remember if the rhythm mechanic was in it, but the contests and the underground was definitely a part of it. And the whole secret. What?
I did not play enough of it to find out about the underground.
Yeah, well, those systems were almost impossible for you to do singly if you had the game years after its original release. So, the only reason I know so much about it is because I looked into it, because I was vaguely interested in it. Anyways, yes, it looks pretty much like the same game, which I suppose you'd expect, considering it's a remake of the originals. And
yeah,
I mean, I don't particularly mind that. I suppose. I mean, the Sinnoh region is definitely the most interesting to me, one of the most interesting to me personally out of the Pokemon games. And
Have you played them?
I have played some of them, but just in terms of like, it has some of my favorite Pokemon. It has some of my favorite characters. Like
The Sinnoh region is one of my favorite. Is probably
it
my
has
favorite.
some of my favorite music as well out of the Pokemon games. So like, as on a whole, Sinnoh and the Diamond and Pearl games and Platinum. Oh yeah, I did. I completely forgot about this. I actually did own Platinum at one point. I don't know what happened to it, but I did own Platinum and I did play it. I don't remember what happened to that copy though. That was a long time ago. Yes. So it has always been one of my favorite like settings for the Pokemon universe. And just all the cool stuff that happens in it. Yeah, I mean, I guess the major thing is that the art style, right? Everybody, when the games were first announced and you saw them, everybody was like, "Oh, the art style, oh, the chibi art style, it looks awful." Or some people were like, "No, it's fine." I mean, in this overview, especially, it doesn't look bad. I mean, like, I get why some people will be like, I mean, here's the thing. The weird thing about the art style is that it's the art style that the Pokemon games have had since their inception. It's just now in 3D instead of 2D. Like, the chibi art style is a thing that's existed ever since the first game. It literally visualizes it because whenever you pick a trainer, they have like this full detailed model and then it's shrunk down into little chibi model. So the chibi art style has been a thing with Pokemon since its inception as a game series.
Yeah.
And wasn't really, I think, changed until X and Y.
Nope. X and Y was chibi still.
Well, yeah, but it technically had like full 3D environments you could run around, didn't it?
Yeah, but the people were really short.
Yeah, so I guess
little TV boy.
I guess Sun and Moon would be the first game to actually have like not chibi people.
Yeah.
And it was a disaster.
I mean, I like Sun and Moon.
And the game that came after it was a disaster.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Look, it's 2020. Something has to be a disaster.
Like, sure, whatever. But yeah, like, so the chibi art style has been with the series for a long time. I get why it looks kind of weird in 3D space, but seeing it especially in this overview, I mean, it looks fine. It looks completely fine. The game seems to be running fine. It looks fine. I'd even, dare I say, kind of cute. Dare I say it?
I probably will end up buying it.
I mean, that's just because you're a Pokemon fan. That's the life of all.
Also,
Pokemon.
I never really played through Diamond and Pearl.
Here's the thing.
If it's supposed to be.
The life of a Pokemon fan is getting excited for the next release of Pokemon, shitting on it massively when it's first revealed, and then buying it anyways. That's the life of every Pokemon fan, is just massively hating on the game before buying it out of spite. You know. Please do not crash again. Oh,
I try to give it the benefit of the doubt.
I mean, here's the thing. I suppose in this instance, well, anyways, well, you know, it's benefit of the doubt. I mean, yeah, it looks fine. Like, the art style looks fine.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I get why people would be like, they wanted a big full remake with full like character models in like their big weird world, but like it kind of wouldn't work for Sinnoh in a way because it it still has the classic Pokemon design of blocky landscapes. Like all Pokemon games up until like, I mean, I know this sounds stupid, but the fact that Black and White had a massive city that had a ring in it was amazing to me, because everything was on like a block plane, because you'd move like a block forward. You didn't have free movement. You had, directional movement going in 4 different directions, and then great. Why does this always happen? I hate it when this happens. Stupid freezing. Please, what is going on? Yeah, okay. Well, we're just gonna have to. Yeah. Oh God, where is it? Yes, see you in a moment. And we're back. Yeah, sorry about that massive failure of internet. I love it when that happens.
Yeah.
Anyways, where was I? The art style's fine. But anyway, like the Pokemon games have always had like limited movement in terms of like, you didn't have omnidirectional movement. You moved in like blocks, stuff like that. So like,
you couldn't jump. You can't jump. You still can't jump.
No, you cannot.
In Legends Arceus, you can roll
Yeah,
and get attacked by Pokemon, but still.
and so like
they hurt you, the trainer.
Like I get the so like I get the want, especially of like big fans of the Sinnoh universe, to want like a big full-on remake with full 3D character models in a full 3D world. I get that. I get the want there. But I'm not entirely sure how it would have worked, because it would have required some overhauling of like the design of the world, because it still worked on, I mean, even when what was it called? Sapphire and Ruby, the Omega Sapphire and Omega Ruby came out, it was still like, it wasn't fully 3D. It was still working on like, that kind of thing for the game world. So why can't I think like, it didn't have omnidirectional, I don't think it did anyways, omnidirectional movement. So it was still working. It was still working on that like set of moving around.
Yeah, grid. It was
Grid.
on a grid.
That's the word I'm looking for. Grid. I just couldn't think of it. Anyways, what is going on? Why do I have something in my throat? So anyways, yeah, I mean, like, I get why people want that. But like I was saying, I don't personally mind the chibi art style. And it's an art style the Pokemon games have had. People just didn't really take note of it because it was always two-dimensional and pixely. So, I feel like I've rambled about that specific aspect of this for too long. So moving on from that, yeah, like I said at the beginning, I believe everything we've seen in the trailer was from the original game. So I guess there's not much point. Like if you own the original titles and want to just play them, I suppose there's not much point in you buying this, because you could just play the original games. I don't know if they've changed anything super specific.
Well,
Like
they add stuff to the underground.
Well,
graphics.
Yes, graphical fidelity.
The speed of the game was apparently slow in Diamond and Pearl, like the movement speed.
Yeah, people always complain about the speed in those games. So, I'm just saying, like, from the standpoint of like, if you really love these games, I'm not sure if you would even have a problem with those like issues in the first place, like movement speed, sometimes being blocked
sure.
off or whatever. So there's that. And like, I mean, well, I suppose there is one thing that they could change that would be useful, which is because obviously this is Shining Diamond. What is it called? Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I've made that mistake so many times trying to remember these games. Shining Diamond. No. So in the original games, oh, that's what. Sorry. Oh my goodness, messed myself up with stupid Shining Diamond. So obviously they're not releasing a platinum version of this game. It's both of the games as they were probably. So I'm not sure if this would be the case or not, but I think it would be useful so they did this, which is in the original Pearl, there was only 2 fire types in the entire game. Because one thing about each game is that obviously each game has unique Pokemon to it, so you are forced to trade with each other for like whatever. And in the original Pearl, there were only 2 fire types you could get in that entire game: Chimchar and Ponyta. All the other fire types were in, Diamond.
They were in the end. They were locked in the end game.
Yeah, so like if you had Pearl, you only had 2 fire types to choose from for your team, which obviously was rectified in Platinum because Platinum was the combination of those 2 games and added stuff on top of it. But like it would be nice if they fixed that at the very least. So you have more options and are not forced to buy both games. I mean, everybody's going to buy both games anyways, because that's what every Pokemon fan does. They buy both games so they don't have to interact with other people.
Yeah, they
get all the Pokemon they want.
They did actually think of a solution for that.
Did they?
In the underground, depending on the statues that you put in your secret base, it'll determine little underground like haven areas that you can find different Pokemon.
Right. I mean, yeah, there is that aspect of being able to find rare Pokemon in the...
It's like fire types and stuff. Well, it's not a complete fix, but it's more of a fix.
I mean, I suppose... I guess we'll see what happens. I mean, maybe they've revealed that aspect. It's not like a major problem. It's just one of those, like, I think they messed up in that regard by only giving one of the games 2 fire types, which is kind of ridiculous if you think about it, because it's not like the gyms are different. God damn it. Okay, there we go. It's like it's not like the gyms are different.
It's the gyms.
So, anyways, but I mean, what do you two think in this regard? I've talked so much on this. What are you guys thinking?
I think it's interesting. Like I said earlier, I intend on buying it because I can't get through the original games. It's not like it's too tough. It's just
yeah.
I don't know. There's something about those original games that's just really obnoxious.
The pace.
Yeah, the pacing.
They're very poorly paced games.
Speed. So that's part of the reason I want to.
Okay.
Otherwise, it looks nice. Like, I'm glad they're rebooting Diamond and Pearl. Well, remaking. Actually, I don't have too much to say.
All right.
So,
I got up at, just so you know, I got up at 3 a.m. after getting to bed at 11-ish, or maybe 10:30. I do not have awakening because I got up at 2 a.m. because I had to get to work at 3 because I worked 3 to 11 today. So I'm kind of slowly falling asleep. And
Well,
it just
maybe-
hit me like a couple minutes ago.
Maybe you should drink more coffee.
I don't drink coffee. I tell everyone this. I don't drink coffee. I
Yeah, Devin, go
refuse
get
to do drugs.
Go get a cup of caffeine.
A pure, yeah, just
No, don't do that.
pour pure caffeine into a cup of water and then just die from a caffeine overdose.
That seems like a very bad idea. That's not what I was saying.
I could put a bunch of dirt on my hand. No, wait, cut a hole in my hand, put a bunch of dirt in it, and then grow a coffee tree. Grow a coffee tree out of my hand.
Or
Yeah.
or don't do that and just drink a shot of lemon juice.
Oh, that would not work for this.
Why?
Because this is because I'm tired.
It helps me when I'm tired.
Yeah, sleeping helps this, or at least mine.
No
does.
kidding. Sleeping helps? No way.
I want to test this. I'm gonna get you a glass of lemon juice, and you're gonna drink the whole thing.
No, what?
Yes.
No, don't interrupt the
hate lemon
podcast
juice.
for this.
Okay.
No, we're gonna finish the podcast in 5 minutes.
Anyways, so yeah, anything to add? Sleepy.
I thought the voice narrator was kind of amusingly really annoying.
Yes, yes, he was.
It's just like, how do you guys, you're game freak. Oh, I right, you're game freak. Oh, right, it makes sense now.
I mean, I highly doubt the Japanese-based Game Freak got to choose their English translated voice actor. That was definitely Nintendo of America's job.
Yeah, well, Nintendo of America's either really cheap or has really bad taste, or they didn't get enough takes. I think most likely they didn't get enough takes.
I mean,
Or they just have really bad direction.
it's fine as far as just like
No.
bare minimum is required, but it is just one of those like, yes, hello there, I am here to explain to you what you are about to see before you. It's that level of like, I mean, you're doing your job, but you're not doing it very well.
And the script was kind of meh. Anyway, doesn't matter. I thought it was interesting. Me from a few years ago would have been super hyped because Diamond and Pearl was the game that I was the most hyped about out of all of them. And I thought they were going to be rebooted in 2018 or 2019, whatever it was that they were supposed to be rebooted. But instead, we got a sequel game.
Yeah. It's happened twice in the Pokemon lineage. Black 2 and White 2, and then Pokemon whatever it's called. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. That's right. I mean, it's technically a sequel. It added more stuff to the story of the first game. And I don't know. I haven't played those, so I wouldn't know what's in them. Yes.
That's it. Sorry, I don't have many thoughts on it. I just looked at it and I was like, "That's interesting. It's coming out finally. Yay!" Yeah. And there's like a little part of me that was like, "Oh, you're not as excited as you should be," and I'm like, "No, not really." And it's like, "No, you were supposed to be a kid forever who loved this stuff," and I'm like, "I do love this. I don't care. Actually, maybe I love it, but I don't care."
The duality of Pokemon.
And more importantly, I can't play it, so it doesn't matter.
I mean, you totally can. It just requires you to do a bit of stealing.
Yeah.
You know, from Matthew specifically.
His Switch. Yes. I
Anyways. So
I'm implying I'm gonna go break into someone's house and steal a random person.
I mean, I'd hope not. Anyways, but yes, Pokemon, what are they called again? Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Whoops. I mean, that I don't, like I said, it's just, you know, a lot of people have been excited for this, and a lot of people were very distraught about its art style when it first came out, or when it was first announced. And a lot of people, I feel, Pokemon is I feel like the only fan bases that rightfully, I would say like 70% of the time, has rightful, like, not like anger isn't technically rightful in like a fan base terms, but like has rightful
Outrage.
like outrage at what Game Freak and Nintendo and the Pokemon Company are doing to the franchise. I feel like in this case, though, it's the other, like, well, god damn it, math. 40%, no, 30%. I can do math, shut up. It's the other 30% where their outrage at this game is kind of negligible and dumb, because it basically comes down to preference of art style at that point. And it's like, okay, if you don't like the art style, that's fine. But like, it's what the Pokemon games have looked like. It's just now in 3D. And it's not like the chibi art style lasts the entire game. Whenever you get into battles, you get full models, which is what happens in the original games too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and like, everything that the original games is there to offer, including a few new things, I believe. So I don't know. I don't get the Pokemon fan base sometimes. It's one of the few fan bases that I feel like makes me more angry than it should because of what they do on occasions. I don't know.
The fan base or the companies?
The fan base. I mean,
Oh,
companies and fan bases are kind of interlinked by the same stupid rope, which is to say, fan bases, especially overzealous ones, can defend horrible things from a company or get really over the top based on minor things that the company has maybe done to a game franchise, meant for children. And then companies are just, giant corporate machines that do not care about anything but money. Individuals probably care about a lot, but corporations as a whole only care about money, and that's about it. So, I don't know. It's just one of those things, because I just kind of hate both of them, but I hate them for very different reasons. And I'm not on either one of their lists of good people to hang out with. So that's fun. Anyways, I guess that's all for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, I suppose. I mean, I've kind of given my thoughts on it. Like, one of my favorite Pokemon atmospheres, and the games look fun. I highly doubt this will be a flop of anything, because people are going to buy it regardless. So, yeah. Moving on from that to host topics. So, anybody got one? I'll take the silence as a no. Devin, you said you had something to talk about, or was that just the Planescape stuff?
was the fact that I have now bought more games than just Minecraft.
I see. All right, then.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's fine. Host topics. What?
I said I don't understand them.
Don't understand. You don't understand.
I wish I understood how to play Rimworld. I wish I did.
Well,
I do not.
I mean, I assume there's a tutorial.
There probably are.
I mean, Minecraft technically has an official tutorial now. Outside of like videos, it kind of explains how to do things in game now,
which is nice.
So, I mean, I feel like it would be very strange if the game didn't have a tutorial. Most games have tutorials nowadays. Yeah. Anyways, so no host topics means no host topics, unsurprisingly. So yeah. Like I said before, I don't usually come up with one because I'm the actual host of the main host of the podcast itself. So, anyways, moving on to news. Shush! Why are you meowing so furiously? Oh my goodness. What are you doing? Shush. Shush, you. Shush. Anyways, so moving on to the news. And if I can get this dumb kitten situated. So I mentioned briefly that we'll be talking about two pieces of news today, both of them game related, or at least you'd hope so. This is so stupid. Anyways, so the first bit of news we have is the Dragon Ball asymmetrical multiplayer game thing. So this is really weird, or at least it is to me. So Dragon Ball, or I guess Bandai Namco, has announced and gave a trailer for a new Dragon Ball game. And it's kind of like a survival horror game, sort like it's basically kind of like Dead by Daylight, which is a horror game. It's like a multiplayer horror. Dead by Daylight is a multiplayer horror game where one player is like the murderer guy and the others are just the victims, and they have to run around doing objectives and avoiding being killed. And that's kind of what this game is, except it's Dragon Ball. And the trailer is ridiculous on every level imagined. Like, this game looks like a parody. It doesn't look real. It looks like a parody. It's super ridiculous and real dumb. But I mean, like, sorry, like, okay, I know neither of you care or know about Dragon Ball in the slightest, but this is a very strange angle, even for a Dragon Ball game, because this is a very like new, weird direction for Dragon Ball games to go in, because usually Dragon Ball games are just either fighting games, adventure games, or something along those lines, and all of them usually just follow the story of Dragon Ball. I don't think there's ever been, outside of Xenoverse, which even then just basically follows the story of Dragon Ball with slight changes to it. Every Dragon Ball game basically just follows the story of Dragon Ball, and the gameplay is just the fights that happen in it. So it's like, which is not like the worst thing. It's just after a while it gets really stale because they've done it so many times. So this is definitely a very fresh experience as far as Dragon Ball games are concerned. It's just really weird. Why the Dragon Ball brand? Why? Just why? That's all I have words, is just why. But yeah, it's coming out next year across most of basically all the platforms you can think of, except, the ones that are worth noting, like PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, PC, and stuff. And like, what are you doing? Excuse you, getting away. Yeah, it's just, yeah, and apparently this game will link to Xenoverse 2 as well, but that's like a minor thing. But like, I just like, the gameplay footage of this is like, you have Cell, who is one of the villains, is like the guy that kills the survivors, and he like runs around and tries to kill people while they do a bunch of random stuff, and like Cell eats people, so like when he catches one of them, he like eats them and turns into his better form. I don't know, Dragon Ball's weird. Yeah, I don't know, man. Anything to say about this before I just explode.
You can explode.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, like, okay, I guess I didn't wholeheartedly expect either of you to like really bring anything to the table with that one, but it's just I just had to say something about it because it's so weird. Like, you have normal humans using like rocket launchers and other random tools to take on these villains that like blow up cities. It's ridiculous. It's like, why would a rocket launcher kill Cell? There is no reason why that would happen. Anyways, it's so stupid. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it looks interesting, but it's also so weird.
Maybe it's a really powerful rocket launcher.
Maybe it is. But yeah, that's Dragon Ball Z Breakers is what it's called. Or Dragon Ball Breakers. It's one of those. I never remember if the Z is there or not because the Dragon Ball franchise is fucking confusing sometimes. But yeah, it's Dragon Ball Breakers. Sorry, Dragon Ball The Breakers. I'm sorry. But yeah, I guess I don't have much else to say about it other than why and what. Those were my reactions when I first saw it. And it still is my reaction because it's so fucking ridiculous. But yeah, moving on to next and final bit of news, which is following. So Warner Brothers has announced officially a platform fighter in the form of Multiversus, which is the easiest way I can put it is that it's a Smash Brothers clone. In the same vein that Nicktoons All-Star Brawl, as I think it was called, Nicktoons All-Star Brawl, which was a game released a couple months ago, or like a month ago at the very least, Nick's version of Smash Brothers, which is like a bunch of Nicktoon characters fighting. And this is Warner Brothers' version of Smash Brothers, which is a bunch of Warner Brothers owned properties going at it in Smash Brothers type action. Now, I know at least one of you has played some of Smash Brothers, so you at least know kind of how it works. But it's that. I mean, it's a platform fighter by Warner Brothers, and there's a bunch of Warner Brothers properties like Tom and Jerry and Bugs Bunny and Batman and Steven Universe, and also apparently, because it's a Warner Brothers property, Cersei Lannister or whatever the fuck his name is, because some Game of Thrones characters are in this as well, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that may or may not be true.
What?
I just remember reading it. So apparently, on top of a bunch of other characters, oh yeah, Shaggy is in this as well. Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. And they gave him his dumb meme powers because you remember a while ago when people were doing that dumb, stupid joke about Shaggy being this unlimited god with a bunch of power, and it's like, oh, you only use 1% of his power. You remember that? Or even know what that is? Maybe? Okay. Anyways, there was this dumb joke a while back that spawned off of a bunch of things in regards to Shaggy, and they just gave him those stupid meme powers. So he is, I don't know, man, it's just weird. Anyways, but yeah, yeah, Bugs Bunny, Harlequin, Tom, Jerry, Finn, and Jake. Oh yeah, that is. Sorry, not it's Arya. It's Arya Stark from Game of Thrones. Not whatever I said. It's Arya.
Okay.
It's Arya
That
from
makes
Game of
a lot
Thrones.
more sense.
What? That's weird. And yeah. Anyways, yeah. So I don't. So it's not super surprising that this happened, especially with the release of Nicktoons All Star Brawl. I mean, this isn't the first time other companies have tried to mimic Smash Brothers. Sony tried to do it with Sony All Stars or whatever they called it, which was not a major success because they copied Smash Brothers, but in the wrong ways. They copied it in the worst ways because they didn't copy it in the ways that actually made it fun to play. So that was a failure on Sony's part, and I highly doubt they're ever going to go back to it. I mean, maybe they will. Maybe they will now that both of these games are here. But anyways, so the main thing, okay, so first of all, I just want to say people, specifically dumb people, for some reason think Nintendo cares at all about these two games and the competition they may or may not bring. Specifically, recently Nintendo announced that they would be officially sponsoring and acknowledging Smash Brothers Melee tournaments and stuff, which is something I haven't done ever up until this point. And because it landed on a similar day to the announcement of Multiversus, people were like, "Oh, you see, Warner Brothers has given them competition. They need to spout them. This is the reason they're doing this." And I'm just sitting there like, no, I highly doubt that's the reason they're doing this, because of Nintendo, because of how Nintendo is, and the fact that it's a Japanese company. They were definitely having talks about this for months before the announcement was even made. I highly doubt they knew or even cared that it was the same day as Multiversus. This is announcement. So no, you guys, no, that's not how this works. Nintendo doesn't care about Warner Brothers. They don't care. They're a Japanese company. They don't have to care because Warner Brothers is, well, not a Japanese-based company. I don't actually know where it's based. Probably America. I don't know. Companies are based all weird places because of tax evasion. Anyways. But yeah, like, that's just a minor thing I wanted to talk about because I've seen people say stuff like that and I'm like, no, that's not how this works. You're a dumbass. I'm sorry you're dumb. Please get smarter. But yeah, like,
No.
and I feel like the only real reason Nintendo has taken so long, I'll get back to Multiversus. There's something very big I want to talk about it, which will probably kill the game in the long run. Before I get into that, like, the only real reason Nintendo has finally decided to acknowledge the Melee Smash community and its tournaments and like competitive play is probably just because they want to get it under control before it just blows the fuck up, which it currently probably is on the edge of doing so. Because well, okay, so first of all, there's partnering with a company called Panda to do this, and so it's like they associate with it from like a third, like they associate with it on behalf of Panda, so they don't have to take the full brunt of anything if something goes wrong with it, which stuff has gone wrong within it, because is a bit of a like what's the word? Basically, there's been a lot of pedophilic charges in the Melee competitive community as of late. So
Yeah.
I'd imagine Nintendo just wants to get it under control before anything too major happens. And also, the competitive Smash community has always been, I feel like I really hate the Smash community a lot. I'm not sure if I've made this apparent or not, but I really hate the Smash community. I really hate it because it's just made up of a lot of like, you have the competitive scene, which is mostly made up of like people who probably take it way too seriously, and I wouldn't say ruin it for casual people because that's going too far. Obviously competitive people don't ruin the game for casual people to play, but it's one of those weird things where you have unsanctioned tournaments, or like unsanctioned because Nintendo doesn't acknowledge it, going on with Melee, which is a game that was really good competitively by accident because Smash was never meant to be a competitive game at all, which is one of the biggest reasons why Brawl, its successor, had so many non-competitive things about it. Like, tripping and the games being really slow. So it's like, obviously Sakurai and Nintendo never really wanted this to be a big competitive thing, and it just happened by accident. So there's that. And then like, I don't know, it's like people get too invested in it. Like there are compilations of people just absolutely destroying controllers and going fucking ape shit after they lose. So people just take it too fucking seriously and go way overboard, and it's just pathetic to look at. There's also the fans of competitive that also go way overboard by literally threatening competitors with like death threats and or just throwing shit at them while they're on stage. There was a very specific story of a fan throwing a live fucking lobster at somebody. I'm not making that up. Somebody threw an actual fucking lobster at another human being during a Smash competitive event.
Where did they get the lobster?
I don't know. How did they get it in? I don't know. But it's a thing that happened. And like, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, why? Who thinks of this? Why would you even think of this? And it's just, I don't know. To me personally, Smash Brothers has always been a very like, for lack of a better term, ghetto version of a competitive esports tournament. Because like, it's been big for a long time, but every other fighting game just feels more professionally done than the Smash Brothers stuff. And I'm sure I'm wrong. I probably am wrong because I don't look into other competitive scenes.
Back to the lobster thing real quick.
What?
I think the only mindset you could have for that is, I think I might need a lobster to throw at someone in the tournament. I'm gonna bring one just in case.
Yeah, it's just like
what?
It's fucking ridiculous. This is a whole
such a weird thing to do.
This is a whole tangent at this point, but it really just makes me hate the Smash community and every facet of it. And not to mention the fact that every single person you meet in online Smash, just like casually, is just the most sweaty human being in existence. Like, I'm surprised they aren't just made of fucking cheese because of how sweaty they are. And like, I've talked about that before, but it's just really it's just every facet of the gaming community that surrounds Smash just makes it really unfun, at least to me. Just people that spam attacks or do really fucking toxic things online just to piss you off. And then you have the competitive scene, which is just that, but supposedly done in a professional sense. And then you have the tier lists, which I'm sure, and I'm aware that every competitive game has, but especially in Smash, tier lists seem especially terrible because I feel like the only reason characters are quote unquote better than one another, but like Smash is the only game that has like, the thing is, like, even joke characters in other fighting games can be viable, good characters because the game was designed for all characters to be quote unquote viable, because more other fighting games have more of a competitive history than Smash does. Has a larger and longer competitive history than Smash does. But like, I don't know. Tier lists kind of annoy me because I feel like the only basis of tiers in regards to how characters work is like, oh, Little Mac has bad recovery, which means he's low tier. He has bad recovery and bad aerials. He's low tier because the only thing you have to do to fight him is just get on the edge and press a button to like make him go the opposite way. And because his recovery is so poor, he'll just die. But that's a really scumbag way of playing a video game, to me at least. Even in like a professional setting, I feel like, okay, so in a professional, imagine in a professional competitive tournament setting, one of the competitors just decides to camp one side of the screen for the entire thing. And because the character you're playing as isn't good for that kind of thing, you just have to wait him out because he's camping the side of the screen as this character that has like almost unlimited jumps and the ability to stay in the air for as long as physically possible. And you're playing a character that is terrible in the air. So obviously you can't fight that because otherwise you're just going to lose. So you're forced to wait out the timer for like 10 fucking minutes, which is really boring to watch as an audience member. It's not good content to watch as an audience member. And then it's just not fun for either party, and it's not fun for the audience. It's just a really scumbag move. And the problem is it actually does work. That's the problem. It works. So it's something that people want to do and it's viable. But just because it's viable doesn't mean it's fun or cool. I don't know. Anyways, that was a whole random tangent that's just been boiling in me for the past 2 weeks because of fucking Smash Brothers and the community that surrounds it. Anyways, getting back to Multiversus, which is what we're actually talking about. The one major thing I want to talk about this is that for some reason, unbeknownst to me, Warner Brothers has decided to make it a free-to-play game. It's free to play. Which, I mean, like, I don't understand why. Like, why is it free to play? This is the worst. Like, this is the worst decision they could possibly make, and it's going to absolutely kill this game in the future because, I mean, why? I just don't like. Why is it free to play? Sorry. Okay. Like, so it's a platform fighter with a bunch of Warner Brothers characters from past, present, and future, all duking it out in stages based on like properties and stuff. And then you just say, let's make it free to play. So, and what that actually means is probably it's just going to be a fucking mobile game with like terrible progressions. Like, oh, you want to unlock a character? Okay, pay like $2 to unlock this character, or wait 20,000 hours for him to just appear randomly, because that's how every fucking free-to-play game works. Every free-to-play game has terrible fucking progression because they want you to spend money. Yeah, and it's just like, why? I mean, I know why they did it. It's because Warner Brothers is a greedy fucking company that cares not for your wallet. On top of it being free to play, it has a weird, so like it's more, the gameplay itself is more focused on 2v2 matches. So like the gameplay and infrastructure is, well, Matthew's gone, and the gameplay and infrastructure is kind of more focused on like duel matches. So it's like teams of two fighting against each other, and the game is more situated and designed for that. But it does have single player fighting, and I just like, that's an interesting concept and could definitely work, but I think it's weird, especially in a platform fighter like this, that they would go for that as like the main thing. Yeah, yeah, the whole, that's going right. Okay. Yeah, the whole like getting away from that, like the fact that it's free to play at all just makes me very anxious about this game's future, because if it's not successful because of the free-to-play aspect, which it probably won't, because why the fuck would it be? It'll definitely set a negative precedent for Warner Brothers as a company, because companies are so fucking stupid that the only thing that makes them decide anything is goddamn money. Anyways, you're muted, by the way. Both of you are.
Maybe they're hoping that it being free to play will give them a larger audience, but I'm not 100% sure how far they've thought that out.
But like, so far, it's only being released on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, or like that's what it's supposedly being released on, and there's no like supposed release for the Nintendo Switch. So it's like, I mean, they're reaching a pretty vast audience, and if they wanted to reach the biggest audience they could, they would just put it on the Switch, because that thing has been doing the numbers. And it's like, they probably will, but like, I don't understand, like, because here's the thing, if they make it free to play, that means the only way they're making money off of this is via in-game purchases of some kind, which means, how are they doing that? Well, the most bare minimum thing they could do is lock characters and stages behind a paywall, which is probably what they're going to do, or a really terrible progression system that allows you to, after 1,000 hours of playtime, unlock a character or stage. But you have to pick, because they use the same currency, and it probably, like, you can probably like buy the in-game currency via, and there's probably going to be some dumb package of like, oh, if you pay $100, you get like 2,000 gemeralds to spend on like 2 characters. Because that's
then,
just
Aaron,
how
what
the
they do
free-to-play
instead
market
is they make
works.
instead what they do is make everything free. The game has no real money interaction. Just follow me on this. This is totally what's going to happen.
And it's like,
and you just have to play a lot in order to get stuff.
I feel like that would be almost worse, because then nobody. And then
No,
like,
but it's like
probably
3 games to buy a whole character.
And like,
But the games each take like 2 hours.
I don't know.
Because
You know,
the games
thinking about it,
you
there
control are
were
crap.
items. Were there items? I don't, I haven't seen if there's items in this game or not, regards to like playtime. And like, what else? Like, the other like bare minimum thing they could do, which would be really fucking shitty of them, would be to like, before you go into a match, you can like give yourself a boost of power to make sure you win more, and they could lock that behind a paywall as well. They could make it pay to win, which wouldn't surprise me in the slightest, because it's Warner Brothers, and the last time they did something like this, they definitely made it pay to win. So yeah, that's a big rant for me about both the Smash community and Multiversus as a whole. But like, this is, I feel like if people are stupid enough to buy it, it'll probably have a long success, which, I mean, are gonna be stupid enough to buy it because people are dumb enough to pay money for convenience. And I don't necessarily disagree with that, because yes, in the real world, at least, not in video games, I would happily pay a little more money for the convenience of something. But in video games, I don't feel like that should be a thing. And it's like, oh, your mail will arrive a little faster if you pay a little more. It's like, okay, that's fine. That's a little thing, that's convenience that I'm okay paying for, because it gets me what I want faster. In a video game, there's no tangible thing that I'm getting. I'm just paying money into the void. And then in 5 years, the servers will be down and you'll not be able to play this game at all, because it'll probably have some fucking stupid DRM where you always have to be online to play it or some shit. Anyways. Yes. So that was a large, long rant from me about Warner Brothers. Anyways. Yes. Obviously, none of what I said can be confirmed, because we don't have a lot of information about the game yet, but I highly doubt it's wrong. If I'm wrong, okay, if I'm wrong about this,
You will eat your words.
I mean, yeah, I will. Like,
You'll literally print your words out and eat them.
the weird thing is, like, I can't, there's no point in me making a bet about whether or not I'm wrong because I don't gain anything out of it either way. The only thing I gain is the satisfaction of knowing I'm right or the pain of knowing I'm wrong. But like, I'm like 100%, I'm like 90% sure that I'm correct about my assumptions about what Warner Brothers is going to do. So yes, anyways, if they do that, it's going to kill the long-term abilities of this game, especially if they're hoping to foster some kind of competitive scene for it, which, I mean, it wouldn't be surprising me if they were, because the competitive scene for a lot of these platform fighters is pretty good usually. So like, they'll probably want to try and do that. And like, you can't do that with a free-to-play system that focuses more on, I don't know, just, you can't do that in the system that they've designed for it. So there's that. Anyways, yes, so that's my, oh yeah, I just realized I didn't really give my thoughts on the game itself. I just kind of explained a bunch of random stuff. The game itself looks fine graphically. I mean, it looks fine. I'm not entirely sure why, but it looks very similar to Nicktoons All-Star Brawl, which is not horribly surprising, I guess, but I don't know. I think it's kind of weird that these companies with like $1 bajillion give such low funds to these development teams just to make something. It's really weird to me. It's always been very strange to me. It's like, you're sitting on a cash cow here if you do it correctly. And the only reason you don't want to do it correctly is because you're fucking scared of losing money, which you're going to lose if you don't do it correctly. God, companies are so fucking short-sighted. It goddamn hurts my brain. Anyways, yes. So that's Dragon Ball's thing and Warner Brothers Multiversus. It'll probably be a vague success, but the long-term success is just going to be, like, in the short term, this game will probably be a massive success. In the long term, it's going to fade into obscurity as that game that little Timmy remembers playing when he was a kid. And it's like, oh, anybody remember Multiversus? And then you're like, and then everybody's like, no, we don't. Why would we? Why would we remember that game? Oh, because it was pretty good back in the day. It's like, yeah, you're right. It was good back in the day when Warner Brothers gave a shit about it. Anyways. Anyways, gone severely off the rails. So that's the news. And I guess anything else to say about it before we just move on and get into shameless self-promotion?
It sounds like a safe, like a safe executive decision, where it's like, what do people like? They like crossovers. We can make a fighting game, right? Yeah. How hard would it be to mess up a fighting game? Not that hard, sir. Okay.
I mean, you're
like
right.
A fighting game crossover. We own a lot of products, don't we, Jerry? Yes, sir, we do. All right, let's put them all in a pile.
Yeah, it's just, it is a very safe executive decision because they're almost guaranteed to make money off of it just because people are stupid enough to buy into it. But you know.
No, I think it'd be cool to play as some character from something fighting some other. I honestly don't know what characters Warner Brothers owns.
I mean, DC, Warner Brothers is DC, so the entire DC universe is at their disposal, like
Wonder
Batman,
Woman.
Superman, Harley Quinn, stuff like that. They also own Hanna-Barbera.
Wonder Woman fighting.
What?
Wonder Woman fighting Harley Quinn. That'd be fun.
Yeah, they also own like Hanna-Barbera and obviously Looney Tunes, so all of those properties. So they could get like Yogi Bear to fight I mean
Harley
Arya
Quinn?
Stark from
Arya
Game of
Stark,
Thrones,
yeah.
because they own Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So, you know, they have a lot of stuff they could do. And honestly, like, it's not a bad idea. Like, this concept, the fact that nobody else has tried this concept except for Sony before now is fucking ridiculous. Because, like, imagine if Disney decided to do this. They own so many fucking things. Like, you could have Bart Simpson fighting. You could have Bart Simpson fighting fucking Kylo Ren while being on like the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Like, you could have that. That would be a world you could live in if Disney wasn't such a fucking piece of shit. Anyways, but it's really weird because like so many companies own so many different properties because they all want to be a monopoly of some kind. So they just keep buying things. And it's like there's every company that owns more than 3 or 4 properties is just sitting on a gold mine waiting to happen. And they just don't go into it. Yeah, I mean, and I get it. Nintendo has been the dominating factor in this for a long time, but like if you do, just copy fucking Nintendo to almost a T and you'll make a fun game. I don't understand why this is difficult. Nicktoons All-Star Brawl, from what I've heard, was a pretty successful, fun game, even though it dropped off a cliff as far as attention and went, mostly because it was too low budget and didn't have any voice clips or like other sound effects to a lot of the things, so it felt kind of cheap and weird. Warner Brothers, I don't think will run into that problem because apparently they do have voice clips and stuff, from what I've heard anyway. So, but even then, I don't know. It just looks kind of cheap. I don't know. There's something about it that looks kind of cheap. I can't put my finger on it, but there's just something about the game that looks kind of cheap. And I know the reason I'm saying that is because I'm comparing it to Smash Brothers, which doesn't look cheap in the slightest. But like, there's no other thing to compare it to than Smash Brothers. I mean, I guess Sony All-Stars, but you know, everybody knows how that game went. It died. Also, I believe either my internet or theirs has died, so we'll be right back before ending the show. And we're back once again.
I love my internet in all ways and have never, ever been irritated by it, ever.
No.
Yeah, definitely. Anyways, yeah, sorry about that. Internet and all that good stuff fails occasionally.
Occasionally.
Yeah, occasionally, occasionally. Anyways, so that's the news. Let's just dip into shameless self-promotion for the end of the show, shall we? Because I think I've rambled long enough. So, shameless promotion, the part of the show where we promote ourselves famously. Matthew, what do you got coming up and what have you been doing? And people, you know what I'm doing.
Once I figure out how to do thumbnails, I should have a video coming out soon.
All right.
Hello, I'm that young man, also known as Dev Moff of Gaming, also known as Deliot Z, also known as Think What.
You Think What?
Also known as
Yes, You Think What? Great channel name.
When is it gonna change?
Also known.
It's not.
What about Sabre?
Oh, and Sabre and Evan the Magic Nerd. And
what about Ragamuffin?
We're gonna forget about Blingdon.
Where's Ragamuffin Deli Z?
Ragamuffin doesn't exist anymore, Matthew.
Which one was Ragamuffin?
Ragamuffin turned into You Think What? All right. So anyway, if you want to check me out, you can check out that mess. Or you could watch my critique of Sydney Watson or my video called Why I Don't Do Drugs, because those are the popular videos that people actually seem to be very interested in after they watch them. One of them was an hour long. Or you could watch my Stranger Things 2 video series about some stuff.
Yeah,
stuff that happens.
So that's where people can find you. But do you have anything coming up that may or may not be interesting?
I have a job.
Is that an excuse?
And I'm writing another book.
And both excuses.
I still want to have a social life. So
is that
unless I have. Here's the thing: if I have an idea that's good enough and easy enough to execute, then I can make it in 1 or 2 hours from beginning to end, like the most recent video that I made called a book review, I guess. Then I will. But otherwise, I won't.
I mean, that's
least for
fair.
now. At least until I get like a week off. I'm probably gonna take a week off at some point in the next some points.
And then you can sleep for 2 days and come over here and kill video games with me. Kill video games? Yeah, sure,
video
brain.
games.
That's the word I wanted to say.
Well,
Take the cartridge and snap it in two.
I happen to be being about to take off 4 days in a row, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it's 4 days in a row. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I can come over there then, although it's next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm going to disappear. Ooh. Oh, it takes 2 clicks. No.
Well, I guess you
Ooh.
just get to be here until the end then. But yes.
Ah.
Damn it, he's gone. All right. So, Matthew, do you want to expound on that any more than just being like before? Like, no, just no.
Before what?
Like you said, you were just like, when I figure out thumbnails, I shall upload a video.
I'm gonna look into it later.
Do you want to be more specific, like where people can actually find you and what you're doing?
I don't want to say that until I actually have content up there properly.
Oh,
I have a little bit of content on Mystical Meanderings, like some music. And I will be making music again once I have internet that can download the things that I edit the music with.
all right then. All right then. So that's shameless.
Frustration.
That's shameless self-promotion into the end of the show now. Because
And my key station's just sitting over here and I can't use it.
we all have problems. Unfortunately, we all have problems, and some of them encompass your entire existence, like not having a working computer.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
thank you all so much for watching this episode. Yeah, that was certainly a thing. I hope you enjoyed the rambles of my stuff. I hope you enjoyed my rambling, because that's what you get. Anyways, but where was I? Wait a second. Anyways, so Jesus Christ. Yes, thank you all so much for watching this episode. Oh, oops, I didn't shamelessly self-promote myself. Whoopsies. I forgot about that. Basically, you can find the podcast on the channel on wherever you're watching it currently, or the other place, which is YouTube and SoundCloud. Gaming the Discussion, Gaming Comma the Discussion, and GTD Podcast, respectively. So you can also find me on Twitter, where I don't do anything, at Gaming Comma the Discussion. So that's also a fun thing you can do. Yeah. And like I said before, I don't make promises I can't keep. So we're just going to move on to the end of the show. So thanks for watching for the 3rd time, because I'm because I'm absolutely awful at doing these endings.
That's unimportant.
Yeah, do all that stuff that makes people know where we are, like commenting and liking and following and all that good stuff.
Yep.
Do it if you wish, or don't do it if you don't, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, and you could tell them to comment something specifically if they made it to the end.
Yes, because that'll totally work.
Hey, if you did make it to the end and you're interested, you could comment banana. I can't think of anything.
Yeah, sure, banana. You can find
The show
everything
that you got there.
You can find everything we talked about and everybody's channels in the description below, or the pinned comment if you're on YouTube. So, yeah, tune in next week or whenever. I don't know. The podcast will continue to be uploaded on Sunday. All that good stuff. Yeah, see ya. Bye. Whatever. God, this is terrible.
Goodbye.